Hey, what is up? It is Humberto Garcia, and today we're going to be talking about when and how to present your pricing list during your in-person sales consult. Now, whether you're just starting in in-person sales or you've already established and maybe you want to increase your booking rate, maybe you're just getting into it and you want to be confident and have a system so that you don't stumble when you're pulling out the prices and you don't just start discounting yourself. I'm going to go through in the exact process that I use and other photographers use when they're doing in-person sales consults. Now, keep in mind, this is the step before they actually book you, and I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm going to tell you that almost every single one of the clients I work with right now, my one-on-one mentoring clients, the people that I actually do marketing and sales consulting for, none of them are doing in-person consults anymore. All of them are booking over the phone, but that's a whole nother monster, and I know it's not widely accepted, and everyone says that you have to do that, but they're all averaging over $2,000 a sale. They're saving a lot of time, and they're absolutely crushing it. This video is for those of you who are still doing in-person consults and haven't maybe progressed to being able to close on the phone. And if you are still doing that and maybe you just want to keep doing that, make sure you stay around for this video because I'm absolutely going to show you how to do it step by step and get the best results while doing it so that you book as many sessions as possible. So before we get started, I want to know in the comments, are you doing in-person sales? And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so that you see more content just like this. Now, one of the most difficult things to do is if you're not seasoned at in-person sales, it can get kind of hard and it gets really nerve-wracking at the time where you actually show your price list. So I'm going to show you the easiest way, and it's the way that you basically take the most amount of emphasis off the prices and actually make it about the experience. So what I'm going to suggest is when you show up, or if they show up at your studio or wherever you're doing this consultation, that you actually have samples. And the reason you're going to have samples, and I'm going to pull some up, and we're going to pretend that in this scenario that we're doing a family session. Now, the purpose of this is I'm going to say that you're going to have either 10 or 12 sample photos, okay? And what you're going to do is you're basically going to present 6 of the images. You're going to then present your price list. You're not going to print it out and you're not going to let them stay with it. And then you're going to present 6 more. And I'm going to show you how that's going to go. So let's just say I'm trying to shoot a family and I already know what some of the objections are. Some of them are, hey, are my kids going to behave? We're not that kind of family. We don't dress like that. Are you really going to be able to capture us? And, is my husband, going to participate? And what I do is every time I pull out a photo, I hand it over. And every photo has a story and it has a purpose. So if I already know what the objections are, every time I hand over a photo, it's with the intent that the story is going to solve one of the problems or hopefully one of the objections that they might have had at the end. So I'll hand it over and I'll say, you know what? I had an amazing time shooting this family. The crazy thing was that the mom actually didn't think that they would look good in photos because we wouldn't be able to capture who they really were. They didn't want to, get dressed up all fancy because she said they were just down to earth and they were from Ohio and they didn't want to make a big fuss of it. So what I did was I told them to get in tank tops, and this is one of her favorite photos and one of the only portraits that she actually has with her daughter. So it was an amazing time. Right? And I'm letting them hold it, they'll give it back, and I'll keep going. And if you have some sort of unique style or something that makes your photography special, what I used to tell people, and this is absolutely true, was that if you look at my work, in every photo, I try to have the dad to be and reflect the protector. And you know what? In this photo, the mom was actually worried that the kids would not, behave or they wouldn't get along well because they're pretty rough, right? Like they're tough, rough and tumble kids. But the crazy thing was they had an amazing time. She'd never actually seen them holding hands at this age. She thought it'd be impossible to get good photos of them. But because we had such an amazing time, afterwards they went out for ice cream and they had more fun than they ever thought they could. So, and again, you see how there I'm basically solving and basically answering any of the objections they might have had of, hey, are my kids going to behave? Are we going to be able to get moments like that? And I'm doing it by instilling and showing them with the stories instead of just telling them, right? Because a lot of times when we get in front of them and we feel like we have to justify that, hey, we're very passionate, kids are great with me, but that doesn't say much. Everyone says that, right? So what makes you different? And let's just say we keep going, right? One of the amazing things about this was that the mom and the daughter, they were actually going through kind of a little bit of a tough time because, her daughter was either, graduating from high school and they're going through that age, and she didn't think that she'd really participate, and she thought it was actually going to be a lot of trouble. But the way we actually interacted and the way I posed people is absolutely extremely natural. And right after the shot, they were actually laughing hysterically. It might have been one of the first times they'd held hands in a really long time. And you see right there, as they're holding the photo, they're experiencing the experience that the other people had through it. So if they're going through and they're having any doubts, they're like, wow, these people are just like me. I want to go through that. Okay. This is actually one of my favorite photos. And as you can see, as I show this, for me, it was very unique because a lot of moms don't have many good photos of the dads. And the way I always pose the dads is, again, as a protector. And again, I could have another story on this. I could say location, right? Like right behind us, there's a bunch of trash cans. There's a bunch of people in a parking lot. So you don't have to worry about the location. Whatever location we go to, I'm going to make it look absolutely amazing. And it would have been even better if I had like a behind the scenes where I could show them, actually, this was the background, and just have maybe a little sample of it, put it on the back of this photo. That way they can see some contrast. So you can just get better and better with this. Now let's just say you go through and you do 5 or 6 photos. Well, then you're going to pull out your price list. And I strongly suggest putting it on an iPad. That way they can't take it and they can't leave with it. And it's not just about pricing. So what you'll do is you'll hand it over and you'll basically just say, so these prints are actually this size and this is the price per print, or you can get the entire box for XXX. And if you have other samples, you can pull those out, you can show them, and you'll just wait, you'll be silent. They might have a question or two, they might confirm, okay, so this is this, got it. And the key is to treat everyone like they can afford you. And if you do this confidently, you're going to get a very positive response, and you're not going to get as many money objections because you're making it about an experience instead of about money. Because a lot of times what I see is a lot of people show up for a consult and all they do is talk about what kind of paper they get, how many selections they get, how beautiful it's going to look, but they haven't experienced anything yet. They haven't felt anything yet. They haven't been photographed yet, so they're not very heavily invested. So by doing this process of going through 6 photos, getting them involved emotionally so that they want that experience to be part of their family, showing the prices, and then sandwiching it in with another 6 photos. And it does a few things. It basically takes the concentration off of pricing. It's absolutely transparent because you're handing it over, you're deeply explaining it, but you're really putting it in between a lot of value. So I hope that helped. I will link the products in here. All of these prints are from WHCC. And the mats are from Fanao, F-A-N-A-O, Fanao. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hopefully somebody can tell me in the comments. So if you found this valuable, hopefully you'll like and subscribe and share this with somebody that you think can use this, because in-person sales should not be difficult. And I'd like to know, are you doing in-person sales right now? What has what are you having trouble with? What can you use help with? And if I get some good suggestions, then I'll make some more content on that. And if you have any questions, just feel free to leave them in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as I can. See you guys in the next one.